All right, what's good? What's good? So today is Friday, February 6th, and we're looking at the end of the trade week. But this is gonna be a video. It's not about wins. This is gonna showcase some losses and what really, honestly, what led to these losses. Is really simple. Honestly, it's one of those things where uh, definitely could have been avoided, but I'm gonna showcase not just the good, but I gotta showcase the bad and really it can easily be avoided if you just follow your rules. But in any case, this was my analysis for today, and actually I'm gonna show some of yesterday too. But let's go ahead and just zoom in on this left side, right? So I do my analysis on this day. I did the 1 hour. We can see right here at the top left. I had the hold on. So 1 hour time frame up here, and then my scale was 25, right? So if I double click that, you'll see traditional 25, and that's how I do my 1 hour equivalent. So I draw my I draw my pivots. It takes 5 wrinkles for a pivot to be valid, and so these are my swing points that I drew, right? Highs, lows and highs, etc. So I'm gonna just start down here. Had a low point, had a high. It takes 3 wrinkles for a break to be confirmed, right? I can have a new high, but it won't be a valid break and change the direction until I get 3 wrinkles above that last swing point. So this was my lower high right here. I had 2 wrinkles above it, so I made a new high, but it wasn't a valid break until this point. So higher, low. Uh, this is a higher high, but it's also not a swing point, so I don't count that, right? So it continued to go up, made a higher high right here, higher low, lower high, and then it gave me this point down here. This was my new low, which is also a break of structure, right? So cool. I'm looking at this right here, this line, break of structure. My bias is now bearish, and now I'm looking for anything that goes up. That's just going to be a retracement, right? So again, I'm looking for a retracement to a zone before I look to take an entry to go back down to the downside. Now, I actually forgot I deleted this, but I'm going to put it back. I draw my zones at these swing points. Again, really easy to identify what my rules are. And shoot, if the rules are simple, execution should be simple. And usually they are. Executing is usually not the complicated part, it's just identifying what is what. But in any case, again, once it broke below, let me make this a little bit larger. Once it broke below that red line, my bias was bearish. All right, cool, nice little break right there. Indicate I'm bearish. I got a nice retracement up, and then I'm looking for a price to come to one of these strike zones, right? So this is a swing point, and actually this was really ugly. But actually that's a swing point, so that was my zone, and I had a zone up here that was untested. So I waited for price to come up here, and I was looking to go short. So now let's go to the lower time frame. This is the next thing that we're gonna do, right? And I've been getting gold wrong on this time frame as far as this analysis. Nasdaq and US 30, I've been winning, but gold, I have not been consistently. What is this? Actually, yes, I have. These were back tests, and I had to find the other one. But in any case, um, right here, this all of this was my retracement that I was looking for. Like I said, it broke to the downside on the higher time frame. It broke down, and all of this is just that retracement. I was waiting for price to come up here to this zone, right, and basically give me a break to the downside. Again, very easy. My simple, my strategy is super simple. I just needed this. I need a high. I got a high point. I got a low point. I got a higher high. I got a higher low. I need a price to do this. Either make a equal high and then go to the downside, or come right here and make a lower high, which is what it did, and then do what I needed it to break to the downside. And so, in any case, I was looking for price to go down and break below this last higher low, this swing point, and then it would have also just matched up with the higher time frame. The lower time frame would have been bearish. The higher time frame would have been bearish. And then I would have been ready to take this position once it did what retraced one more time to my lower time frame zone, because I'm already in the higher time frame zone. Really simple. again, and I'm using these swing points. I'm not, looking at a million different zones. I'm only looking at a few. So I have this zone and I have this zone. If this one first fails, even if I put my, let's just say I got in right here, put my stop loss slightly above this high right here, take profit down here at this next zone, or just a 1 to 2, cool. That would have been fine, right? But I didn't do that. I took this. Let me delete this. I didn't wait on this setup. I did not wait for price to come down and go below this low right here. That's what I should have been doing. This was at this is also 12:55 midnight. Price was up here. You go all the way up until this is 2:30. This is 3. I entered way too early. Like I was thinking like, okay, let me get ahead of this. It's Friday again. I'm thinking that it's gonna be some type of special. Um, it's gonna be some type of special. I'm basically give it some type of special, treatment, because I have seen prices react different on Friday. Sometimes you get your setup in the London session, and it only moves and takes off in the New York session. So I was like, you know what, I'm up anyway. Let me go ahead and just take it. I'll be, slightly in profit or slightly in negative drawdown or negative float. But by the time 9 o'clock, 9:30 gets here, it's gonna start to just flow in my favor. I've seen that happen, but the the odds are it's just like 50-50, and it really feels more like 60-40 and not in my favor. It's 60-40 not in my favor. And so with those odds, it's just like, again, another reason not to even treat Friday like it's some type of special event, some type of wild card, where it's just like, oh, you can get ahead of it. You can enter at in the London session. Oh, you can enter at 8 o'clock, 8:30 or something if you see the setup early. And granted, what did price do? This was 3 in the morning. Let's go ahead and just keep going and show what price actually did. This is the 5-minute time frame. Let me change that real quick. Let me delete some of this because all of that is important. Not important, rather. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is actually not my pivot. Again, I need 5 wrinkles to be a valid pivot. But what it did was it went up. It broke this last high from midnight, and around 7:35, it made a new high. It made a new high. And so again, that invalidated this whole setup from the London session. Should not have taken that trade. Should have just been patient. But what it did was, like I said, it invalidated the zone. Or I ain't gonna say it invalidated the zone. Actually, we can check that. All I need is 3 wrinkles for price to be invalidated. So 3 wrinkles above this red, not this red line, but this zone right here. 1, 2, and 3. So it wouldn't have been invalidated until 49.50. But it's still, even at this point, it had not given us a sell signal, right? All it was doing was giving us higher highs and higher lows. That's all it was doing. I never got a signal. I never got a confirmed signal to go short. Even at this higher high, if I wanted to say, okay, I got stopped out from London session, clearly I can just re-enter once I get a SBP or a BPP, just some simple rejection from a zone or whatever. No, I never got confirmation that it broke my last swing point. I would have needed this to be broken before I take a sell, right? I would have needed that. Or at this point, I would have needed price to do what? To hit this higher low, to go up to make a equal low, not an equal low, but an equal high, and then break to the downside. So this low would have had to be broken. And this was from 825. I would have needed this to be broken, and then, I know this is a lot of drawing, and then to retrace back up. And then I have a zone right here. I have a pivot, so that's going to be my zone. I would have needed that, and then I could have sold it, right? Because I'm bearish only 1 hour. I would have put my stop loss slightly above this high or either of these highs, and either went for a 1 to 2. Wouldn't have been that bad. Would have been out of that trade, or just shoot for that zone. That's a 1 to 8. I never got either of these confirmations, whether it was from this one, this hypothetical situation right here. Again, I'm only using this because that's my last low. And like I have a system that says like, hey, these are your lows. I'm not trying to use that wrong one. But these are my lows right here, right? It never broke below it to confirm to go short, even at 2 a.m. right? So that trade should have been taken. And right here, if I was gonna do anything for the New York session, it was gonna have to break a low. I never got it. So what did I do? I took an L, and as frustrating as it is, it was deserved because I didn't follow my rules, man. And it really just doesn't get any more simple than that or simplified than that, because I literally have rules in place for a reason. Let price show you what the market is going to do, and then you react from that. Don't What I did was I tried to forecast and I tried to anticipate, and basically say, oh, okay, I know what the market is going to do. I just wait for the confirmation. That's all I had to do. But different scale. Even if and this is if I just zoned out, right? This is a 4-hour equivalent. Really nice. Like I said, if you don't want to take the day trading approach, right? 4-hour, I can kind of swing these for like 2 or 3 days and get a longer target. I don't have to wait necessarily like 2-3 weeks for them to hit those targets. But in any case, clearly market's been going down. Again, I just need 5 Rincos for a swing point to be valid. That's 4, lower low, lower high, higher low. It broke this swing point right here from Monday. Boom, it just ran all the way up. I'm bullish at this point, right? I'm bullish. I got a swing point right here. I can draw this over right there. We see we got a little respect going right there. But all of this is just a retracement until I get 5 wrinkles going up to say, hey, I have a new swing point. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is not a valid swing point. This is not a valid swing point. So even when, and I didn't have a zone right there. I mean, you could say, let's draw this one right here. Right? I'm if I'm following my rules, like all of this is valid. This is a break, this is a break above and a retest to that zone. But it's still not, I don't have a swing point. I know once I get a break, I gotta ideally get it to come back to one of these zones and give me a valid swing point. It never gave the 5, right? In any case, it kept dropping, but I'm still bullish. Go down to this 15. I used the 4-hour and the 15, the 1 hour and the 5. That's what it looks like. Just draw that over. And I'm pretty sure this was just this was market close. So this is a gap down and a gap back up. That's why it looks like that V shape on the Rincos. But if I'm knowing again that I'm that I'm bullish on the 4-hour, look at the setup. Look at the setup. This is just from yesterday after 5-6 o'clock. Low point, high, higher low, higher high, or you could say, I like to say these are just equal highs. I need at least 2 or 3 above that to be an actual higher high or break of structure. Here's another higher low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, cool, valid. Higher high, higher low, and it just kept going, right? So this was, just telling me what I should have been doing, but my impatience ruined me. It ruined my trade today, and actually I did the wrong thing. So this should be my 15-minute color. I just have my 15 as black, and this is as simple as what it like. This is my entry for the day. I didn't take it, but I marked it up already, right? This was the last swing point that was broken right here, broken to the upside. Actually, I take that. Well, yeah, this was the last swing point. This is from 2:30. I took this at a sale this morning. It did go on profit, but by the time I woke up this morning, that bad boy was stopped out because I did what I sold into a buying market. And I know I used to hate some of these descriptions on market movement, but I sold literally right here when the market literally kept making higher highs and higher lows, lower high, higher low, running profit. It broke above that. All I need is 3 for my break of structure to be valid. 1, 2, 3. All right, and so boom, it came back down. This is 6:30, going into market open. Let's find 8 o'clock. 8:15. It did it again. It broke above this level. Didn't need it to. Came back down, retested it again. Very simple, approach to trading, but it's been working. And for whatever reason, I wanted to rush the process today. I'm gonna bring that up. I like to just annotate on here a little bit. Entry would have been at 9:15, 49.56, and stop loss would have been 3 wrinkles below the entry point, which is basically 2 bullish wrinkles. And I'm again, even at 8:30, even though I got rejection from this level, I can't enter there. I need price to what? I need it to break again and come back and test it. And what I could do is what I was doing is use a zone, right? That's my zone, 15 minute or the block or this area interest. And then look, gave me 3 above it, gave me a nice little retest. Boom, and I'm not even gonna pretend like, oh, I got the perfect entry right here. It's like, no, it gave me a touch to it. It gave me 2 wrinkles away from it, a nice little rejection, and that would have been my entry right there at 9:15. Stop loss would have been 3 wrinkles below this low, right? This black wrinkle right here, that one. Let me not double click it, but it would have been right below that one. So 1, 2, 3. So basically about 18 to 20 pips below the low. Perfectly fine. And this still hasn't hit take profit, but this is the setup. Risking about 38, 40 pips for 77. Or let's just say 80. It's a 1 to 2 setup, but this has been consistent. And when I deviate from it, it has shown and proved that, hey, you probably gonna take an L from that, because again, like I said, I'm not saying that it hasn't worked a few times, like if I get in before 9 o'clock, but it's more like 40, 60, and I'm the 40 is the percentage that's winning. That's not enough for me to be taking those trades. Today I just said, let me try to, let me just try to make this extra money. Let me try to do this, keep the win streak going. Nope. And I traded heavy, so yeah, 2 positions that were both heavy. Took a big fat L. 2 big fat L's, right? But yeah, that's my breakdown for it. That's for gold. Let me see, NASDAQ, pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing. I'm gonna try not to keep this video too long. This is how it looked. 1 hour equivalent, right? Market was clearly on. I don't have the path tool drawn, but just follow me here. This was a matter of fact. I'll draw it in real time. My high point, my low point, lower high, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low, lower high. That one got broke. This one only has 3. That's not a valid point. Lower low, and 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have another valid point until it broke above literally the same thing gold did, right? I don't have another valid swing point until it made this new high. But this was at 8 in the morning. I shouldn't have been in this trade from last night. I took both of these trades too early. It's really kind of just that simple. I didn't allow the market time to show me what I should do. I tried to anticipate it, and I was proven like, hey, this is why you have rules, and you took these losses because you were too eager. In any case, let me make this one as large as possible. Once it broke below this one, this just tells me again, everything below this is just to tell me what my bias is. I need price to come back up here to one of these zones. I chose this highest point because this was around, 2 a.m. price was around here. It wasn't near any of these points. I said, okay, I'm gonna draw this one up here. This morning, I woke up, I see prices at my zone. Cool. I'm gonna just take the trade. That's what I did. So this is also again around 7 a.m. It was at this zone. That's all I need for price to do, and then go to this lower time frame. I'm on the 5 minute over here, and so yeah, this is right where I need to be. So let me make sure. 7:30. This one is slightly different, but again, my time rule was not followed. I need my swing point. So this low, this high, higher low, lower high. It did break to the downside on this one. I got 1, 2, 3. That's all I need. And so I'm waiting for price to come up here. I would have had this zone drawn right here. Boom. Or this one up here, which is what I did. I did have that one drawn. I believe I took a fair value gap instead. Perfectly fine. I was like, all right, I'm still inside of the 1 hour though. So I got a retracement, which is where I want it. I got 1, 2, 3 wrinkles to reject it. 730, cool. I'm gonna put my stop loss above this. So I got about an 85 pip stop with a 213 pip take profit. Now this one, it did go in profit a little bit. It was 116 pips in profit. And that, you know what, that also meets another rule I have. Once it gets 50% through the move, that would be a time where I move my stop loss to break even. But also, if I'm entering into a trade before 9 a.m., that means I'm not at work. It also means I'm not looking at my phone, and I probably didn't have this alert set at the halfway point. And so that was just an L. It got stopped out 8:35, and so this is what happened. This is a high point. This is a low point. It broke this high. That's 8:30. It made a higher low. It broke this high. What are we? 8:35, 8:40. It made another high, 8:50, and then it broke to the downside 9 o'clock. Okay, cool. Let's do this right here. Let's change that. Uh-oh. Yeah, there we go. So this is what we have. Boom. It broke there at 9 o'clock. I have that break. I need it to come back to one of my zones, right? Boom. I'm gonna draw that one, and I'm gonna draw this one. Let's delete that. Let's see what the higher scale said by 9 o'clock. Look at this. That's 8. By 8 o'clock, it had already, between 8 and 9, it had already given me the 3 wrinkles above to invalidate or to validate and confirm a break of structure. The same way I do with these red lines is what I can do with these zones. If it goes 3 wrinkles, and hold on, let me maximize this. If I have 3 wrinkles above a zone, that zone is invalidated. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Between 8 and 9, it was already invalidated. So if I just literally waited for my rule to be, to go into effect, wait till 9 o'clock to take a trade, would not be worrying about these losses. But what did happen was, and this is not, again, this isn't a swing point. That's only 4 wrinkles right here. These 1, 2, 3, 4, this is not a swing point, but I do have this zone that can act as a level for me, an area of interest. That right there changes my bias the same way these red lines do. These zones can act the same way. It gave me 3 to change my bias to being bullish, and all I should have been doing then is waiting for price to come back down to this zone. And even if it did go below it, all I had to do was wait for is a bullish setup. Let's go back to that 5-minute chart. Watch this. Let's go. Let's look for it. Let's look for a setup. And I believe I still was looking for a sell. I don't think I didn't take another position. I don't think I did. But in any case, if I did, it was stopped out at 10. That would have been stopped out at 10 o'clock, 10:15. So let's delete this and look for what we should have been looking for, was a bullish setup after 9 a.m. And so I'm literally just going to follow my normal routine. I'm going to just mark my structure up. And it's not like I'm guessing on what's a swing point. If I have 5 wrinkles in a direction, that last starting point is a swing point. So high, low, lower high, lower low. It gave me 3 wrinkles above this point right here. Boom. That's my break right there. I'm going to go ahead and let me minimize that as far as possible. I'm going to put my red line right here. Again, all I need is 3. It gave me 3. Perfect break of structure right there. I only need 3 wrinkles to be a valid break of structure. I'm not guessing on anything. I'm using these same zones. I need 3 wrinkles above to break structure. I need 3 wrinkles above or below to break structure. It only gave me 2, so this zone is still valid. Guess what I would have did right here once I got 2 or 3 wrinkles? This would have been 9:15 again. After 9 a.m. is when I should have been entering any type of trade. Stop loss. I probably would aim for this last lower here from 8:30. We're looking at 60 basis, 67, basically 70 pips. I would have put it just a few pips below it. Granted, cool. If I go for a 1 to 2, we out of that trade 30 minutes. If I was shooting for, I don't know if I have another level up there. I do. Look at this. There is no guesswork with my rules. There is no guesswork. I would have went for the 1 to 2 to get out of the trade and just take my profit, or go for the next level. I would have got a little bit more than the 1 to 3. This is from 9:15 to 11:30. About 2 hours and some change. I would have been out of this trade. But that's literally just following my rules. Following my rules, and like I said, there's no guesswork. Wait until 9 o'clock. Wait, then look for your setup. Make sure your higher time. Understand what your higher time frame bias is. Draw your zones. Go to the lower time frame. Look for your entry and do the same thing. Again, I got a high point here. I got a low point. I got a lower high. I got a lower low. It broke, and I can draw these lines everywhere, right? I can draw these lines. Well, that's not a good one, but I can draw these lines at every single break of structure. But I don't need red lines everywhere. Lower low. It broke to the upside. That's what I'm looking for. All I'm looking for is this right here. And granted, again, we can play devil's advocate too. Again, we're not saying like, oh well, let's just say if you had a zone right here, right? Because we not perfect, we not machines. What if it came right here and gave you 2 or 3 wrinkles up right there? I would have took this trade. Put my stop loss. All right, that's 111 pips, to the bottom. I would have added like 10 pips, and I probably would have got stopped out. But then look, it respected this next zone. I would have got stopped out, and once I got this rejection, 2 or 3 wrinkles, I would have took it because my higher time frame bias had changed from being bearish to being bullish, and this is all I'm looking for. I'm not overcomplicating my process. I'm not second guessing it. I'm seeing the setups. If it aligns with the higher time frame, if I have the zones, I'm taking the trade. The times where I lose is taking it when it's not the right time, or like this, if I didn't, and this would have been after 9. That's 9:10, between 9 and 9:10. But if I didn't recognize on my higher time frame that I had 3 wrinkles above that zone, I wouldn't have known that my bias changed from being bearish to bullish. This zone right here, let's minimize this. This zone, let me see if I can. Yeah, this zone in particular is the one that I should have been watching for because it's acting as my red line. I get 3 below this, that lets me know what my bias is. I get 3 above this lets me know what my bias is. My approach is literally simple, and it is proven to work when I follow those rules. So it's one of those. It's like, dude, just literally, it's literally one of those things where it's just like, if you just do what you have to do, you're fine. These 3 wrinkles right here, technically we got a 4th, but that's a break of structure. That's an indication that we bullish. You just need to wait for the price to come back. And so that is all we doing right there. That's all we doing right there. We got 3 wrinkles above it. Boom, Terrence, we bullish. This is around 8 o'clock. Shouldn't even be in the market, but I was in at 7 because I seen price always at a zone. Let me just go ahead and get in because I know it's got to drop, because the higher time frame said, all right, we was bearish, we got our retracement, we got to a zone, boom, let's go ahead and just kill it. Nope. Winning profit, came back up and said, gotcha. We bullish, retracement back down a little bit, Cool. Let's look for that bullet setup. Right. Let me look for something. It's gonna be fair value gap. Right. Even if it went above, gave me the break instruction. Let's say it gave me three below, which I don't. That's not a part of my rules. It's not gonna break it twice. But even if I did, uh, look at this. It would have went above it and came back down and found some support. I don't even use that many fair value gaps anymore. But that's a fair value gap to act as support right there. You can't see it, but these are wicks. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it wicked it here at 8:30. Just make it. It's my rules, and today I and actually it didn't hit it again. It didn't hit it again, but from the not the 15, but from the 5, this is how it looks. This is how it looks. I got a breaker structure. I had a nice setup. So all I'm saying is so crucial to just follow my rules, and I'm kind of just shaking my head. Like I can't be mad, but I'm mad at how I lost. It's like you can't enter the trade just because you see the setup, and I've seen it so many times from people that are profitable, from people that's on Threads, that's on TikTok, that's saying, hey, these are the rules. I got this 9 o'clock rule from I seen it from somebody else first. Uh, I didn't implement it then. It wasn't until I started getting, ironically, I was getting to my laptop around like 8:45, almost at 9. Once I'm in the office, and then I'm taking trades after 9. I was just like, oh, okay, these I'm really starting to hit on these. I told H that, good friend, told H about it, and he was just like, you probably need to make that one of your rules. He was like, do you think that's a coincidence, or is that something that's potentially valid? It's proven to be valid. Literally just follow you. Like you can't take every setup if it's not in the right time. I didn't want to believe that a couple years ago. Like they just day trading and they scalping. Um, but it there's no look at this. This is 4 a.m. We can go. Again if I'm buying it, but I'm not trying to get every move out of the market. I just need the moves that's gonna make me money. I'm not trying to hold a trade for 3 weeks. That's nice if I get to that point. All I care about is making the money. I don't need to take every single trade just because I see it, because it's not gonna always play out. It's just not gonna always play out. So if you can limit your losses by creating rules like this, risk management is just like, hey, that's what's gonna keep your skin in the game. That's what's gonna get you your skin in the game. That's what's gonna keep you in the game. I'm not gonna let this become a long rant, but today's loss was like, oh man, it could have been easily avoided. It could have been easily avoided, right? And so Nasdaq, what do we have? Let's look at how it looks on Nasdaq. I'm I'm almost disgusted at like how simple this is, right? I'm almost disgusted at how I took these trades, and I can't believe it's me that did it. Man, I would be talking about anybody else real bad, but it's me that did it. Look at this. This is the cleanest price action, dog. Look, high point again. I just need 5. I need 5 to be a valid swing point. Look how easy and clean these look. This is my high, and actually I don't like these are black and white. I need these to be gray, and that's fine. I'll change it back to 50. This is my analysis from the 4 hour. So when I use the 4 hour, I use 50. When I use the 1 hour, I use 25. The 5 minute is what I said, 25, and I think 12.5. And then here I'm gonna do 50 and 12.5 or 6.25. I'm gonna see when I go to another chart. But let's just, I mean, just look at this. This is the easiest price action. When I use my rules again, I just need 5 to be pivots. 1, 2, 3, 4. This wouldn't be a pivot, so I'm gonna go high. I'm gonna go low, lower high. This is not a pivot because I only got 4. Lower low, equal high. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not a pivot. Lower low, lower high. I mean, it just keeps going down. Like, this is again super easy, and it broke right here. I'm gonna change this to my 4-hour color, which is blue. Look at this. This did again. This is the same one from the 1 hour. It looks just about the same. We got a breaker structure to the downside. I got 3 or more. Cool. I'm bearish. I'm waiting on price to let me move this one out of the way. I need price to go back up to one of my zone. All right, this was my zone. Same, look very similar to the 1 hour, just a little less clutter than before. Again, I could just use this as a red mark right here. There's no difference right here than my boxes, right? I got 3 wrinkles above this red line. That's a valid breaker structure. I'm bullish now. This is at 8 a.m. This is, let me see, and now granted, because it's 4 hours, it won't say, if it's 9, but that's after 8 a.m. Cool. Now, all I need now, let's go ahead and do this. Let me see, where is it? I just use this right here. Actually, I would have to go to the 1 hour, but I'm gonna stick to what I've been doing. Okay, broke above it. Cool. We know we had a 1 hour fair value gap right up. That's fine. Now let's go down to the 15. This should be 15. There we go. Look, all of this, like I said, was just a retracement as far as like when I was looking for things to be bearish. I'm like, all of this is just a retracement until I get to this zone. We seen, let me see what time it is. This is 8:45. It had already given me 3 wrinkles above that. I'm bullish. Not only that, it broke above my swing point. Again, I'm just repeating the process. Look at this. High point, low point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower high, lower low. All right, so we bearish. Nope. Broke to the upside. Gave us a higher low right here. This goes into being, this is 9:15 right here, but I'm gonna stop it right there. Turn this into my 15-minute, which is black. Look, I'm not doing things by at random. It didn't matter which one I chose to look at. I had price to tell me that I'm bullish. I need to wait for a retracement to one of my zones. I need to wait for price to also reject one of these zones. If it ran through this zone, I'm not sweating it because I still have this one here. The only way I'm not looking to take this bullish is if it would broke below this zone and this red line. But it did. It broke to the upside. It came back down. It gave me the rejection that I needed. This is at 9:15. All of this back here, it's not even bullish yet. I mean, it's looking for a sale rather. It has not shown that it's bearish yet. Nothing was breaking. Like this line didn't get broken. Again, I need 3, not 1. Cool. That one don't count. Look what happens right here. All right, cool. Terrence, it broke right there. That's at 8:30. So you need to be looking for that sale once it comes back up here. All right, cool. Watch this. Like, watch this. Let's delete this. This is 8:30. We're looking to take a sale, right? Boom. Look what happens. Terrence, I needed to reject this zone. All right, it's a zone above it. We ain't perfect. Let's just say we took it. All right, cool. Let's delete that one. Let's just say it blasted, it invalidated this. So this zone is not even valid no more. You get what I'm saying? So these losses today is just like, my goodness. It's just like, even if I seen this break to the downside at 8:15, at 8:30, and one thing is just like, even if you see those, it's one thing to to see it, but to your execution. That's a whole nother topic. Up here it would have came around 8:30. It's still not 9 o'clock. 8:45 at the very top up here. We're looking at around 8:45. Still not 9 o'clock. We on the way down. That's when we around right here on the halfway going down. Now it's 9 o'clock. This zone has been invalidated. Don't need it. So now this is what we should have been doing right here. 1, 2, 3. Put that one right there. It's literally just the execution thing. It's literally just the execution. So again, nothing is random. Wait for the breaks. Wait for the time. Like I think the timing is the thing. I think I believe honestly. I believe a part of me wants to disprove the time aspect. Like nah, it just doesn't matter. Like that's you being self-conscious about the time and thing. Like okay, yeah, a couple people said it online. Like you don't need like Terrence, you can take that trade at 8:30. Terrence, you can take it at 8 o'clock. Like the setup is the setup, right? But I'm constantly being proven like no, the setup is not always the setup. Like time has to be a part of it. And again, let's look at this. Again, if I entered here, I want to put my stop loss either at the low or again give me 3 wrinkles below this. So 3 wrinkles just looks like 36 pips below it. So 100, basically 100 pips right there. Put this at 130, 135, 130, anywhere around here. Just a little wiggle room just in case it wanted to come down and test this zone because like I said, I'm not perfect, but I am trying to account for if it decided to come down and test this zone. Cool, I want to give myself a little wiggle room. And if it gives us 3 wrinkles below this, that means the trade is invalidated and it does not count. And I'm okay with those losses because I followed my rules. But all right, cool. I take this buy, 135 pip stop. I want to go for a 1 to 2. I know those are not sexy, but I'm not worried about sexy. I'm worried about getting paid. I'm not worried about sexy. I'm worried about getting paid. So the 1 to 2, these are the ones. It's just like again, if I'm looking for something which has been a long time coming, if I'm looking for something that I can consistently do, even if it's 1 to 2, that means I can gradually start the trade heavy and be confident about it. I would have been in this trade at anywhere between 9:15 and 9:30, and I would have been out of this trade by 11:30. It's 1:21 now as I'm doing this video. Most of these trades that I'm taking, they're not taking 3 and 4 days to hit my TP. It's taking a couple hours, and I'm right. I don't need 2 weeks to see that I'm wrong on a trade. I don't need 2 weeks to see that I'm wrong. I just need a couple hours. And I think that's another thing that I can say I am enjoying about this process. Even with these losses, it's just like this didn't take me. Okay, this is not a trade that I took on Monday, and oh man, I waited in this trade all week just for it to be wrong, just for it to hit my stop loss. No, is I'm within 2 or 3 hours, I'm probably out of that trade, or I'm deep in profit and I've moved my stop loss to break even or to my halfway point, or I'm closing at 80% through the move. 1 to 2 right here is fine, and also this is right at the edge of another zone that I had, so that's perfect. 9:15, 11:30, 2 hours and some change. But this is a day by day, week by week approach that I'm taking, and I'm just like, again, I've probably learned more with this loss, and that's crazy because I have to say it out loud. I'm learning more with this loss than I guess a lot of the wins I've had because it's just like, dude, you know it works. You see it working. You see people on Threads and TikTok, doing some of the same things. They not using wrinkles. I just see the market better with these. I have my scales down. I have the scales equivalent to the time frames, the 1 hour and the 5, the 4 hour and the 15. I know what my zones look like. I know what my pivots, how many wrinkles it takes to make a valid pivot. So I'm not just guessing. I know where my zones will be. They're going to be at these swing points in these pivots. I know it's going to be a break of structure. I know how many wrinkles it's going to take to be a break of structure. And I know what I want the market to do once I do get a break. I'm not saying this strategy I have and this approach is perfect, but I think it's damn close. Man, this is a very frustrating loss because I could have traded heavy. I could have traded heavy on both of these positions. This right here, this 1 to 2 risk reward, this could have been a heavy win. This is Nasdaq. This right here, now granted, gold really hasn't moved. It's 124. I'm not even gonna say it. But you know what? I will. I will not be surprised within the next hour and a half if price ran up to this TP, or it ran up to the edges zone, which is 5,050. Again, not random zones, but just do price. I'm almost in disbelief that I took these trades so early. 915. Price would have been 49.56 right here. Stop loss. And hey, all right, cool. This one I did do a different rule, but let's just say I moved that out the way. Let's move that. And even if I put it at the low, that's 56 pips. What's 3 wrinkles below the low? Hold on, what I got? 6, 12, 18. Let's just say 20 pips below this. So let's turn this to 75. Boom. And if I take it to the edge of this zone, that's not real favorable. I don't really like that. But if I go for that 1 to 2, that's me hoping that I don't know if that goes into all-time high. Nope. Well, very close to it probably. Let me go to that 4 hour real quick. Nope, it's not all-time high. There's actually another zone up there. So it'd have been justified. Boom. That's just this zone right here. That's all that is. Boom. And put this back. I'm almost disgusted that I took those trades so early. I'm almost disgusted. This is 8:15. Don't take that trade. It's literally just like, Terrence, follow your rules. Follow your rules. Follow your rules. Disgusting work, man. Disgusting work. Hey, if you don't learn anything being a trader, you're gonna learn to be disciplined. You're gonna learn to, develop some type of rules and not gamble. I can actually delete that. Again, we can play devil's advocate. Okay, Terrence, again, if you got in right here where you're supposed to, and you would still have to put your stop loss down here, cool. If it just ran through this zone, I'm not worried about it because I have this next zone. I still would have came down here and entered, and then with this being my higher low already, because I have 5 or more wrinkles going up, this is my next swing point. I would have put it 3 wrinkles below this one, and so instead of 21, I would have just made it like 41. Got me a 1 to 2. I still wouldn't be out of this trade. I'd be in profit, right? Depending on if it came down here and where it rejected. I need at least 2 wrinkles. That's my 1 to 2. And if I shoot for this first zone, it's 1 to 3. Very disgusting behavior from myself. I'm in disbelief, and it's me that I'm the one that pressed the button to take the trade. So it's one of those things where it's just like you can't be mad at anybody else besides yourself. Trading is a single player game. It is a single player game, no co-op, none of that. Take the trade. The wins go to you and the losses go to you. What do you want to do? That's my video for today. Crazy day, crazy way to end the week, especially on a major loss. But like I said, I feel like I'll definitely Definitely picked up some lessons right here. The biggest one is just like follow your rules. Follow your rules. I'm out.